flames rose around her, not with menace, but with an undeniable presence, a living energy that demanded attention. Sophia felt their heat pressing not against her skin, but against the core of her being, exposing every fear, every doubt, and every shadow that she had carried. This was no ordinary fire. It was the crucible of the self, the final test that she had been preparing for through all that she had endured. Each step she took was deliberate, careful, as if the very ground beneath her were alive with judgment and expectation. Yet the fire did not threaten, it reflected. Every flicker mirrored the struggles that she had faced, the longing for comfort, the lessons learned through false lights, the surrender that she had practiced in solitude. She felt her pulse quicken, a primal reminder that the human heart resists what it cannot control. Here, the fire demanded more than endurance, it demanded presence. It demanded that she meet herself fully, without shields, without striving. Each trial within the flames was internal. The pull of fear, the temptation to force outcomes, the desire to control the uncontrollable. And yet, she paused within the fire, feeling the intensity without resisting it. A strange shift occurred. The heat became illumination, revealing the patterns that she had clung to, the attachments that she had carried, and the truth that she had already glimpsed in quieter moments. This was the final threshold. The fire was not an obstacle to conquer, but a mirror to honor. Sophia's journey through it would not be about force or striving, it would be about faith. And in that understanding, the first seed of quiet surrender began to take root. Sophia's first instinct was to push harder, to step more boldly, to master the flames with sheer will. She clenched her fist, tensed her shoulders, and willed the fire to yield. But the fire did not yield. Every effort met resistance. Every surge of control only stirred more turbulence within the flames, and within herself. Frustration coiled in her chest, a stubborn reminder that some forces could not be commanded. She realized, with a jolt of clarity, that struggle alone would not carry her through. A deep breath slowed her racing pulse. She loosened her grip on the need to manipulate or predict, letting her hands fall open, palms upward as if receiving rather than grasping. The fire still danced around her, intense and alive, but its heat no longer scorched. In opposition, it simply was. In releasing the need to dominate the trial, Sophia felt the first touch of freedom. The fire, once an adversary, now became a teacher, reflecting her internal resistance back at her and inviting her to step into trust. She understood that surrender was not passivity, it was courage, it was faith, it was the quiet acceptance that to flow with life's energy often requires yielding rather than forcing. The tension in her body softened. The fire still roared, but she did not flinch. She simply was. In that moment, striving dissolved into trust, and the flames became a partner in transformation rather than a barrier. As Sophia stood within the flickering blaze, she no longer sought to resist it. Instead, she softened her gaze, allowing the fire to reveal its truths. Each spark and wave of heat mirrored something inside of her, fears that she had hidden, attachments that she clung to, and the shadows that had lingered slightly in her heart. But the fire did not, or did more than reveal pain. It illuminated her resilience, her courage, and the subtle sparks of love and trust that she had nurtured along her journey. Every challenge that she had endured, every moment of surrender, every lesson of discernment, all glowed softly in the flames, like embers waiting to ignite. She realized that the fire was not an enemy but a mirror, showing her both what she needed to release and what she already mastered. The more she observed without judgment, the more the flame seemed to dance in rhythm with her own heartbeat, reflecting back to her her own strength and grace. Sophia felt awe rising within her. The fire was not meant to burn her down, but to illuminate the path inward, revealing the depth of her own spirit. It taught patience, trust, and reverence for the process of transformation. Each flicker whispered, "You are stronger than you realize. You already are enough. You are ready to surrender without losing yourself." In that sacred reflection, Sophia understood that the final test was not about conquering the flames, but about embracing them, and through them, embracing herself. Sophia exhaled slowly, letting the tension in her shoulders and chest dissolve. The fire roared around her, yet she no longer flinched, no longer fought. Instead, she simply was, present, open, and steady within its embrace. A profound stillness settled over her. She no longer measured herself by endurance, no longer demanded outcomes, no longer reached for control. Quiet, quiet acceptance replaced striving. The flames became a sacred presence, not to be conquered, but to be trusted, a living reflection of life's ebb and flow. With each heartbeat, she felt herself aligning with a deeper rhythm, one that transcended fear and effort. The fire illuminated the truth she had carried all along, that faith is not blind. It is the courage to stand fully in one's own power, even when the path is uncertain. The heat of the flames no longer pressed against her. It warmed her from within, fusing lessons learned with strength earned. And Sophia understood now that surrender was not weakness. It was a conscious choice to trust the process, to let life's energy carry her toward transformation. In the quiet, a smile touched her lips. She had stopped resisting. She had stopped striving. And in that sacred stillness, she discovered the luminous power of acceptance. The flames began to soften, their roaring fading into a gentle warmth that caressed rather than challenged. Sophia stepped forward, each movement deliberate, her body and mind aligned in calm confidence. The trials that had once seemed insurmountable were now integrated within her, no longer obstacles, but markers of her resilience and growth. She felt a quiet radiance within her chest, a steady flame that had been kindled through every struggle, every surrender, and every lesson. It was her own light, unwavering and pure, born of acceptance and faith in the process. Nothing external could diminish it, for it was rooted deep in the soil of her own being. Sophia looked around the fading fire, sensing gratitude rather than fear. The flames had tested her, purified her, and revealed the depth of her strength. In embracing the fire rather than resisting it, she had discovered a profound truth. True power lies not in conquering, but in surrendering with awareness. A soft smile curved her lips. The world beyond the flames seemed both familiar and new. Each detail was brighter, each sound clearer. She had emerged transformed, tempered by fire, grounded in faith, and luminous in quiet empowerment. With each calm steps, Sophia moved forward, carrying the final flame within her, knowing that she could face whatever came next, not with striving, but with trust, presence, and wavering inner strength.